Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Hi and welcome to our latest Z2A podcast with myself, Jules and Mark from the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox.
Hello everybody and welcome.
As always, this is where we pick a letter from the alphabet and choose a topic to discuss how you can use our tools to improve your own personal development and life. And as always, over to you for this episode's letter.
This episode's letter is R, but we've actually got 3 for the price of 1 today. It's exciting, isn't it?
It's not a bog off then, a buy one, get one free.
No, it's a buy 1, get 2 free.
Wow.
I can't work out the acronym for that one.
Fantastic. Buy 1, get 2 free.
So it's even better value for money.
Much better value.
Anyway, let's not keep our listeners in any more suspense. We have R for rest, reset and reflect.
Wow.
So how are we going to do this? Well, it's fantastic because it's that time of year where people have gone through real stress of their exams, if they're teenagers. If they're siblings or parents of teenagers, they've had to hear about and be involved in the process and support those people going through it. And if you don't have kids, well, it might be time for summer holidays.
How about teachers?
Oh, of course, yeah, those unsung heroes as well.
Absolutely.
Everybody forgets. Yeah.
Everybody's gone through the whole academic year and it's almost coming to an end. So yeah, it's a good time to assess any progress that you've made so far. And as we always say, is celebrate all the things that you've achieved. Now you might sit there and think to yourself, I don't think I've achieved anything. Oh, I haven't got my results yet. So how do I know what I've achieved? Well, you've achieved getting here so far. So that's something to celebrate. You've got through it. But always celebrate those small wins. Just purely getting up, getting yourself dressed and ready and gone to school, gone to work, whatever it is. That's something to celebrate.
I remember meeting a lad a few years ago in a school who said, I did no revision and I completely flunked my exams. I've been a complete waste of time. I got used to getting into trouble loads in year 10 and year 11, so there isn't really an awful lot I can celebrate. And we said to him, well, hold on a second, would you do the same again if you wanted to be successful? And he said, well, absolutely not. So we said, well, great, you can now celebrate, you know how not to do it. And he looked at us and said, hold on a second, how can I celebrate that? I went, well, if you carry on doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. So you know that you can make changes. You've got a fresh start. And the penny sort of dropped a little bit where he was thinking, okay, yeah. So when I walk away from this part of my journey, I can reflect on what I maybe didn't do so well and take it forward.
Yeah.
So you can even turn a negative into a positive. But let's hope that a lot of people have got a lot of things to celebrate.
I'm sure there's lots to celebrate. And it is a good time to rest as well. We've spoken previous podcast episodes with the summer months coming up. Teachers, students, they will be having a break from education. So it is a time to rest and recuperate. Oh, there's another hour. So maybe it's 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
But to rest and recuperate your mind because you've been thinking about lots of things. There's been a lot of stress. There's lots of things going through your mind and you're thinking about. So it's a good time to rest yourself mentally as well as physically, but definitely mentally.
Definitely. It could be that time of just taking some downtime. And the famous one is the old summer holiday where people go away and they just sit by a pool and think, right, I just want to relax and read a book. And some people say, I want to do absolutely nothing. It's always strange saying I want to do absolutely nothing because sitting by a pool and reading a book is actually resting and relaxing your mind and getting you to think about nothing and just to, as you say, reset your mind and take that time out of it working really, really hard and sometimes getting burnt out with all the things that you've got to do every single day.
I remember when I finished school, I didn't do anything for the first couple of weeks. I just said, I just don't want to. I just don't want to do anything. And I thought, I'm just going to spend 6 weeks. I'm going to take what I thought I was entitled to, my 6-week summer holiday, even though I'd actually finished school, and do nothing. And the first couple of weeks, I did just that. It was lovely. The weather was great. I spent a lot of time just in the garden, like you said, reading books, catching up with friends, just doing really simple things. And then I started to feel a lot better and a lot more calmer and a lot more in touch with myself. And then I wanted to start doing things again.
Yeah, that's probably the same as what I did. The only difference was my mum told me not to get a job over the summer. She told me to take that time out because she said, if you go into a career now you've left education, you're not going to get the long holidays, so make the most of it. And I actually thought, wow, that's really good advice. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't do nothing at all. Like you're saying, I caught up with friends, I did some great stuff, but I also started looking for what jobs were out there.
Yes.
And started applying for stuff and going for interviews and everything. And funny enough, I actually started my first job in the middle of September, so I'd had the summer holidays. I'd had a little holiday as well abroad, which was quite nice. So I'd done all those really cool things and spent the time with friends, as you say, just doing simple stuff.
I mean, you could always get a little part-time job as well.
Yeah.
I remember looking around for something like that. To add to my brand, really, or even just do some more work experience or volunteering, because that will add to what you can offer a future employer if that's what your plan is, to go to work. But if it isn't and you're going to go back into further education, it's still always worthwhile maybe doing something over the summer holidays to add to your brand, add to your skills, whether that is volunteering or doing a part-time job, either in a shop or, I'll tell you what I did, I worked on a farm for a little while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was such fun. It really was.
Yeah, I always do my paper round. I really enjoyed that as well because I'd actually had to collect the money at the end of the week, which is quite a responsibility for a young person, carrying cash around the streets as well. It was quite, yeah, very, very responsible. So that gave me a good position when I got my first job working in a building society, and I was able to demonstrate responsibility. So it is sometimes those little things. But what also I used to do was my mate had a paper round, so we'd go and do his round first and then we'd do mine second. And it was great because we're out and about in the sunshine. It was amazing. I just remember it was a long, hot summer as well.
Oh,
They always are in England.
they always are. They're so lovely. So, yeah, take this time coming up to rest yourself and rest in both mentally and physically. And when you feel that you're sort of back on top and you're feeling good, maybe then it is time to reset and look at yourself and think, okay, what's next for myself? What's my plan going forward?
That's great advice. And again, if we use that example of the lad who said that he'd been an absolute nightmare for the 2 years of his GCSEs, he had the ideal opportunity to reset himself. And that is a time where you can maybe think, what are all my bad habits that I want to change? Or what things do I do really, really well that I want to continue and take to the next level? One of my bad habits was I was always late by about 2 or 3 minutes. And I've mentioned this in previous podcasts. Now, I had the ability to reset that and think, right, okay, I'm going to start turning up on time now. And then when I got a job, I had to. And if you're the type of person that maybe doesn't understand something or it doesn't work for you, then look at ways that you can understand it, in ways you can move forward. You can create a positive habit or you can create some new knowledge. So yeah, just take a look at how you can move forward with everything. And it might be that you've been studying, say, GCSEs for years and you've just taken GCSE exams, and the life's going to change now because no longer are you going to have to be in a position where you've just got to follow fact-based exams. You could go off and become an independent learner. You could go off and do an apprenticeship. You could go off and start something completely new and a new education journey, a new establishment, or even in the sixth form where you have to completely study different. But go away and start thinking about it. What skills do I need? And get excited about it.
That's it. And thinking about your future, let's use your past to help create your future. And that sounds really bizarre, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's look at what we're going to do next. What's our next step? Well, use your past. A great saying is, you live your life forward, but learn it backwards. It's called reflective thinking, and it's about looking at what you've achieved or possibly not achieved over the last, it's up to you how long, 6, 12 months or over the last academic year if you are a student. And again, if you're a teacher, because I mean, you've all got targets and things that you have to achieve. So reflective thinking is something that's an amazing tool for anybody. It's a way of learning from your experiences, whether they're good or bad. And most people think when you start reflecting that you've got to look at all the bad things. Then it's not.
Yeah, it's that phrase, isn't it, that we get caught up on, we need to learn from our mistakes. Yeah, that is brilliant. But also learn from the things that you didn't make mistakes on. Learn from what went really, really well. And reflective thinking, we've done a podcast on this before. Think about what it is that you achieved really well and use that as a benchmark to move forward. Now, I've used this analogy before about running, and something we use quite a lot is using your base level of fitness. Obviously, this doesn't just apply to running, it applies to anything with fitness. But let's imagine that I want to run a marathon, which is 26.2 miles, and at the moment I can comfortably run 3 miles. I wouldn't recommend that somebody goes from 3 to 26 miles just like that, because it's not going to work well. But you have a base level to start with. You have the level where you can start building it up gradually. Now, if you take away the marathon analogy and think, right, okay, what is it that I'm good at the moment? What are my strengths? That's my base level. And then you can look at moving forward. And it might even be that you're right at the start and you haven't even tried anything yet. So then just start building the knowledge. Start looking at little steps forward about how you can achieve that goal. Obviously, a marathon's a big goal, but it doesn't have to be a big goal. It can be a small goal. It can be something really, really simple and straightforward that you want to work on.
Yeah. And when you're reflecting over what you've done in the past, even the things that don't work, these are still huge learning curves. We've created a reflective thinking bundle, which is free for anybody to download to help you to do this, because it is a really, really essential tool to help you to look at your future and build your future, again, like we say, from using your past. So looking at things that went really well, looking at things that didn't go so well, what are the big takeaways from those things, the good or the bad or the not so good? And then think of Edison and how many times he tried to invent the light bulb. There was thousands of times where it didn't work, but he always used that as a positive. So don't worry if you're looking at it and you think, oh, I've got more negatives than I have positives, because you're still going to take something from each of those attempts.
And I love the Edison story. It's something that we've talked about loads of times in the Future Toolbox, where this guy actually celebrated every single what we would class as a failure as a success, because he used to say, I now know another way of not to do it. And it's, again, using that base level. I've tried it this way. If I try it that way again, it's still not going to work. So how can I change it? How can I move forward? It's such a fabulous way forward.
So the reflective bundle gives you the tools on how to do this. For example, it'll help you to develop what we call a questioning attitude, which will help you look for new perspectives and allow you to identify the areas that you need to possibly change or improve, because even if something's gone really, really well, it can still be improved.
That's right. And people sometimes get stuck in the, oh, well, that's the way I am type person. But you can change if you really, really want to. So identifying areas for change and improvement are really key to move forward. And by questioning those attitudes and perspectives helps you to become really inquisitive. So like, how can I do this? How can I do this? And the more you can think that, the more you can, again, we've said it quite a few times already in this podcast, but move forward, look for ways, look for solutions, look for opportunities, look for ways to step forward.
Yeah, and apply what you've learnt from one situation to another one. It means truly trying to understand why you did what you did and why that's important, along with how that can improve your life. Reflective thinking is a wonderful tool.
So we had those 3 R's: rest, reset and reflect. You said recuperate as well, didn't you?
I did.
And
Relax.
I actually mentioned relax as well,
Yeah.
yeah. So how many R's you can get for the buy one, get 4 free. So the R's keep coming. Now, of course, you've got the whole summer to do this. We talked in the last episode about loads of free and exciting, fun things that you can do over the summer. And then when you go to the next stage of your journey, you can actually review what you've done, which is another R as well, isn't it?
There's so many. But yeah, you don't have to do your reflective thinking all in one go. You can spend the whole summer doing it and just recapping another R.
Oh, no.
Over the last 6-12 months of things that you've done and achieved or wanted to or planned, or goals that you tried to set and achieved or didn't go so well. It's not something that you just sit down for 5 minutes and do. So take your time over the summer to review and reflect over your achievements.
And I'm going to put another R in there as well. Reach out to your friends as well and spend a little bit of time with them and just chill out and enjoy that summer break. Now, I do keep saying to take your time, but one thing I'd say is to run to our website, run to your laptop, switch it on and go to our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk. and you can download some amazing tools on there, which also includes our reflective thinking bundle. You can also find loads of other tools on our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. We also have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our regular newsletter full of tips, read our blogs and listen to back episodes of this podcast. And also reach out to us, that's the R, on LinkedIn, because we are
everywhere.
We are indeed. And we look forward to catching you on the next episode. Keep enjoying the summer and we'll see you soon.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.